Yesterday we had the season finale for Season of the Wish, and Bungie certainly delivered the hype and the build up to the final shape. So we've got our answers on how we're going to get through the portal to the Pale Heart of the Traveller, plus we got to see a long awaited showdown between two star characters. Well, today I'm going to go through the season finale for Season of the Wish in Destiny 2. But if you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing for more Destiny 2 content and hit the notification bell to never miss an update. Also, this contains spoilers for the season finale of Season of the Wish, so if you haven't yet played that mission and seen that cutscene, then definitely go and do that now and consider this your spoiler warning. Well, the season finale included a showdown between Crow and Cayde 6, plus we got some really interesting details related to how Cayde has returned. Well, the rivalry between Uldren Sov and Cayde 6 stems from the Forsaken days. Cayde 6 was the Hunter Vanguard, the leader of all hunters, and throughout Destiny 1 was one of the standout characters that everyone just loved. Well, in the events of Forsaken, the Guardian and Cayde went to the Reef because there was a jailbreak from the Prison of Elders. They met Petra Venge on the Reef to investigate and battle their way through the prison, finding out that Uldren Sov and the Scorn Barons had escaped. Well, Cayde 6 ran into the Scorn Barons and Uldren Sov with a sniper taking out Cayde's ghost, making him very, very vulnerable. Cayde is then overwhelmed by the Barons and is helpless on the floor. Uldren Sov makes his entrance and kills Cayde 6, although not before Cayde utters the provocative words, "How's your sister?" in reference to Mara Sov, the Queen of the Awoken. Well, throughout the Forsaken campaign, we take out the Scorn Barons one by one and finally Uldren Sov, although we hear a gunshot that kills Uldren, but we don't actually know who pulled the trigger. Was it the Guardian or was it Petra Venge? Either way, Uldren Sov is dead at this point until he's brought back by a ghost called Glint, and Uldren is reborn as a Guardian called Crow. So while Crow doesn't remember who he was, other Guardians definitely remind him of his actions by beating him, killing him over and over, and generally treating him very, very badly indeed, leading to Crow living a very solitary life, not understanding why this is all happening. Well, this leads to Crow's initial redemption and being welcomed into the Last City. Osiris takes Crow under his wing, and given Osiris himself was once ostracized from the Last City, he knows how he feels. Osiris keeps Crow's identity hidden with a mask and slowly introduces him back into the Last City, even though Crow is very cautious, which is understandable considering his treatment. Crow does make it to the Last City and spies Zavala from a distance, and Zavala isn't likely to welcome the Crow back into the Last City because he killed Cayde, another member of the Vanguard alongside Akora. Zavala sanctioned the Guardian hunting down the Scorn Barons and Uldren Sov in the first place in Forsaken, so Zavala then finds himself in a precarious position at a meeting with Keitel, who's betrayed by a Cabal, and Zavala finds himself in the scope of a sniper. Crow runs in and pushes Zavala out of harm's way, and we see a very similar image of Crow standing over Zavala, which mirrors the scene of Uldren Sov standing over a dying Cayde 6. Crow is then welcomed into the Last City, and Zavala sees that this is not the same man that killed Cayde 6. Crow then becomes a pivotal character in the story to help us get through the portal in the Traveller, so Crow and Mara have a strong connection given they are brother and sister. Mara can sense wherever Crow is at all times, and the Vanguard wants to harness this ability to help us get through the portal so we can get to the Pale Heart of the Traveller. And back in Season of the Deep, we saw Guardians trying to get through the portal and ending up dead and mangled, just trying to get through. Well, this brings us to the final mission of Season of the Wish, and it provides some story context for getting through the portal. So Crow has been sent through as a test subject, and test appears to have been successful. Through a combination of the Veil and Riven's Wish, we've managed to successfully get through the portal, and now we have to follow Crow, and that relies on Mara knowing where Crow is. So there's some interference in Crow's signal, and that leads us back to the Black Garden, where we see a black heart in a mirror to the end of Destiny 1, where we had to fight 3 similar Vex bosses. So once we defeat the Vex, we then see that cutscene of when Crow arrives in the Pale Heart the Traveller. So as soon as Crow lands on the ground, Cayde is there firing shots from Ace of Spades. Crow returns fire from Hawkmoon, and then these two are basically engaging in a one-on-one, something we've been waiting for since Uldren killed Cayde nearly 6 years ago. Uldren takes cover, Cayde flushes him out with a grenade, and then we see that image once again, although this time it is in reverse. This time, Cayde is standing over Crow in a similar position to Uldren standing over Cayde. Cayde looks like he's going to pull the trigger, just when Crow's ghost glint appears, and then Cayde thinks twice. Seeing his ghost, he knows this is not the same man who killed him, and he holsters his weapon and instead offers him a hand and helps him up. Together they stand and look at the witness's tower in the background, and then Cayde simply says, "I don't have to call you Prince, do I?" And you can tell that Cayde is back. And this is not just a copy of Cayde or a new iteration of Cayde. This Cayde remembers. Well, finally, there is some interesting lore on the exotic ship that was the reward for the final mission, and it offers up some clues as to why Cayde has returned. So this one is called Unforeseen Consequences, and the tagline here is "Be careful what you wish for." He remembers his sister's throne differently, an amalgam of Elixni flotsam built from the spoils of war, its great weight suspended from the rafters. A throne Uldren set ablaze in the wake of losing her, his first step down a forsaken path. Crow lays a hand on the throne before him. It's empty and ponderous, silhouetted by a distant nebulae and cosmic dust. It feels smooth, too smooth. "It was here that I first heard the news of your death," calls a familiar voice behind him. He then turns to see his sister striding down the hall, and Mara takes her place beside him and gazes out into the far reaches of space. "Did you mourn for me?" Crow asks. "I did," his sister replies. She is silent for a moment. "And I regret what I did to you. The manipulation, the subtle coercion. None of it went the way I intended." Crow follows her gaze out into the endless void. "I know what it's like." "Remorse and recriminations," Mara says absently, as she turns her eyes towards him. "If you could go back and alter the course of your history, what would you change?" He can't help but laugh. "Where to begin?" Crow muses with a smirk. It fades soon enough. "Cayde," he whispers. Mara raises an eyebrow. "Oh?" "Well, before then, I could have taken a different road. But once I pulled that trigger," he shakes his head, "everything else I can set right. But not that. I just wish I could tell him I shouldn't have done it." "I see," Mara murmurs, her eyes shining in the starlight. Crow sighs and rolls his shoulders back. "I should get going. Vanguard's waiting on my report. We all have our obligations, I suppose. Don't I know it?" Crow nods and then heads back down the hall. He pauses at the portal to the dreaming city, and he glances back at Mara, ringed by the distant nebulae as she shimmers like a mirage on a desert sand. And then Crow is gone. "See you soon," Mara's voice echoes across the empty chamber as the illusion fades. "Oh brother mine." Well, Cayde has returned because Crow wished it. Riven took the appearance of Mara Sov and spoke to Crow, and the crucial words that Crow uttered were, "I just wish I could tell him I shouldn't have done it." You know, we thought the final wish was to get through the portal into the Traveller, but it seems like the final wish is bringing Cayde back to us all. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about the Season of the Wish finale, and I would love to hear what you think. And we've got loads of great content coming up for the final shape, so do get ready. It's less than 2 weeks away now, but that is it for this video looking at the Season of the Wish finale in Destiny 2. And as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget you can hit that subscribe button down below for even more Destiny 2 content here on Endgame Express. You can also like the video and share the video too. That would really help me out here on the channel. Well, thank you for watching that video, and today I'd like to talk about Endgame Express Backstage, the home of exclusive content for fans of Endgame Express. To join, simply join up through Patreon or the YouTube membership. You get early access and exclusive content, shout-outs in the videos, access to live streams, plus also access to our exclusive Endgame Express backstage community Discord. Well, here's some more information about the tiers. So in Tier 1, that is $2.99 a month, you get access to our community Discord and also early access to content. In Tier 2, that is $4.99 and you get shoutouts in the credits of videos, and also you get access to community polls and help shape the content. For Tier 3, that is $8.99 and you'll get access to exclusive community videos and also get access to exclusive live streams as well. Well, the core content on Endgame Express is always going to be free, but if you want to go above and beyond and support Endgame Express, then all you need to do is get access to Endgame Express Backstage today through Patreon or YouTube membership. You know, Endgame Express is a one-man band right now, but I would love to expand into more games, podcasts, more channels, but to do that, I'm going to need your help to make this sustainable, and in return, I offer you some exclusive benefits and backstage-only content. Well, if you enjoy Endgame Express, then consider Endgame Express Backstage today. You can hit that membership button right down below, or you can find us on the Patreon links, and you'll find those links in the description. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.